Hello everybody and welcome. In the last video you guys had the opportunity to meet Olive, and in the next one you'll get to hear what she sounds like in her first performance. However, before I got to that, I felt like she still was missing something. And in the maker spirit, I decided to make that something. And so I have made her own custom guitar strap with some wood buttons made from her same wood. I have engraved the Guardian Angel from Guardian Defense, a company that makes apparel and patches. I love some of their products. I've made custom pick slots riveted into this piece of goat leather in the back to hold them in nicely. They each have their own tone. I like to hear what different picks sound like, and so this one is made from brass. It's very sharp attack and chimey. I made this next one out of Cocobolo and finished with the crimson penetrating guitar finishing oil. This next one is also made from Cocobolo, and when I made it I also added this hole for increased grip. This one's finished with the high build crimson guitar finishing oil, and they do feel different. They have a very different texture. You can feel this one has a thicker finish on it, and it does sound slightly different. This one made from a coconut. This one is bone. This one is what's referred to as a hobo nickel. We see this one made from a quarter cut into a pick. Sounds different from the brass. This one I've made from the same walnut that the back of her neck is made from, and finished with the penetrating crimson guitar finishing oil, and it has brought out this beautiful grain. It has this depth and shine. It's just amazing. So that one can stay here because it matches her. The other ones aren't so matchy, and so I've made her own set of picks. And I was also experimenting with the different finishes and the results. So this first one has no finish. It's just the pure wood. I've picked out special sections of the wood that had interesting grain, and this one is just sanded up through the grits all the way to 10,000, and then used polishing compounds, and it has absorbed some of the oils from my hands but has no finish on it otherwise, and does sound more mellow and warm than the ones with finish. This one is finished with the penetrating guitar finishing oil. Again, it just brings out this grain beautifully. This next one is also finished with the crimson guitar finishing oil, but this one's the high build. You can still feel that it's a thicker finish. It feels considerably different, but the look achieved is very consistent. It's just beautiful. This next one I finished just with shellac. Again, picked a very interesting grain. This one is finished with super glue, polished, It has a much harder finish. You can feel how much harder it feels and also sounds. Uh, Higher attack and more chimey. And again, each of these finishes just brings out the grain in different ways. And finally, again, picked an area with interesting grain. Decided to make this one as comfortable and as grippy as I could, and so I've made in a divot where my index finger lines up perfectly and made it curved so that it fits in my thumb perfectly with much higher surface area. And on the inside here have cut 2 recesses. The first one, when my third finger slides in it, is where it was comfortable for strumming patterns, but then I found that for solos I wanted to slide my finger into a different position, and so I've created the second divot here, and so when I'm going for fine pick work, my finger slides into that recess and I get a much faster response, and so that has quickly become one of my favorite picks. Even though it looks a little odd, it just fits my hand perfectly. And again, I finished this one with the penetrating guitar finishing oil. Just beautiful. And so her strap was done, but I wasn't quite done making. She still needed something, and that something was a guitar capo. And so again, I picked an area of grain that was interesting and suited to the form. This one's finished with the super glue finish to be a very hard and durable. And so next, I had to make her own custom guitar slide. Got a glass slide inlaid with her wood. And originally, I had left this cavity open in her, thinking I might put something in there like a slide. However, this slide is just slightly too big, about less than 1 millimeter. So I'm considering opening this up a little bit bigger for that purpose. When I'm not using the capo, it stores very nicely in her front horn here. And the slide can then be pushed into that and holds it very strongly. It's not going anywhere when I play. But was I done making her accessories? No, not yet. She still needed her own custom cable. And so, again, I've used a super glue finish with this matchy cable. On this side, 1/4 inch. Can still be opened up if I need to change the electronics, but I've filled in with silicone to reduce any wear and tear. On the other side, and angled, again, I'm able to open it up if I need to, and there is silicone to prevent damage and wear to the cable. But is that cable enough? For this guitar, no, because it actually has a tunematic style bridge with piezo pickups in each of these saddles. And so all these individual piezos get blended together inside the cavity, and this switch allows me to pick only magnetic pickups, a blend of the magnetics and the piezo acoustic sound, or just the piezo acoustic sound. And so it will blend all that together, and this one's a universal tone. It'll blend that signal out through the cable, or if I press this button, can now use a TRS cable, which I've made here. Again, tip, ring, and sleeve, and sends it through the cable, which then splits at the opposite end, and I can send the electric guitar signal through one side and the acoustic guitar signal, or the piezo, through the other side. And I've made these very different. I made this one very smooth, and they still have a little window to show which is right and left if I did use it as a stereo cable. But this one is very smooth, and this one I've contoured to follow the natural grain, and so even a very, very dark stage, I can still easily tell which cable is which, even if I can't see anything. And that's it. I had finally finished all the accessories. So in the next episode, you get to hear what she sounds like. I'll see you all then. Have a wonderful day.